Welcome back to the OBB podcast with Khalil Williams and myself, Joe de Blasio. We are now on episode 3 of season 2. I really hope you guys have enjoyed the first 2 episodes. Just shout out to all of our viewers again who have been watching and commenting. We really appreciate the comments and the suggestions because we're still trying to learn as well. But yeah, like always, we get right into it. With topic 1, there's been a little bit of drama going on with New Orleans' first round draft choice, first pick overall a couple of years ago, Zion Williamson. He hasn't played at all this year.
Nope.
And he's looking fat. And
fat shaming.
And the other day,
Joe, don't get us canceled.
Sorry.
Don't get us canceled now. He looks slightly overweight.
Yes. But the other day on First Take, JJ Redick, an ex-NBA basketball player, said that Zion...
He's played with Zion.
Yeah, and he has played with Zion. Said that he's just not a great teammate. He's quiet. And New Orleans just traded for a star shooting guard in CJ McCollum, and apparently Zion did not reach out until... Yesterday,
basically.
And he's been there for, a week and a half or whatever.
Yep.
So, there's just a lot of speculation going on. Does Zion want to be there? What is he up to? Like, does he even want to play basketball? You got any thoughts?
He definitely wants to play basketball, but just not in New Orleans. I think he's never wanted to be there in the first place. He's been out more than he's played. And I think if he really wanted to be in New Orleans, he'd be playing right now. Because think about it, it's not like he had like 3 and 4 setbacks.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like he's saving himself for something. But I have a little crazy theory I want to throw at you.
Go ahead.
Zion to the Knicks.
How? With a trade?
Think about it. He's a free agent this year, but most likely it'd have to be a sign and trade.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Zion told New York that he wants to be there, right? Because there's a reason why they don't move Randall mid-season. They know it hasn't worked. They're not going anywhere. They signed Cam Reddish. Or they trade for Cam Reddish.
Duke, big three.
Not the fact that it's Duke, but people Zion's familiar with. Think about it. Really think about it. He's sitting out for what?
That's the big question.
He's sitting out for what? And I think, don't be surprised if you end up seeing Zion in New York.
I could definitely see that.
Because really think about it. You got Cam Reddish to not play him.
Right.
I think New York knows he's coming. Or he wants to be in New York.
I just think that, like, a young player like Zion, right? My headset's all fucked up. Young player, he gets drafted to a shitty team, number 1. Obviously, most players do when they're number 1.
Yep.
You should try your best to get that team out of the dump and prove that you can lead a team. I know it's tough sometimes with, the team that you have around you, but just to 1 out after a year and a half really of playing basketball for him.
Not even a year, basically. I think he played 85 games. A year.
Yeah, so that's pretty ridiculous to me. Also, like you said, possible that he goes to the Knicks.
I think it's going to happen.
It's going to be the same damn thing, just in a bigger spotlight.
No, but I think he wanted to go to the Knicks when he got drafted. Because if you remember, the Knicks were actually supposed to be number 1.
Mm-hmm.
The Knicks were actually supposed to get the first pick. And obviously New Orleans ends up getting it. But I think he always wanted to be in New York. And now since they got RJ, former teammate, Cam Reddish, former teammate, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a coaching change this offseason with the Knicks. But it's very interesting. That's my theory. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but there's a reason why Julius Randle, he's been getting hated on by the own Knicks fans. He's shown a dislike towards the Knicks fans, his home-based team. They're not going anywhere. They're not in the play-in right now. So and it's not like he's having an amazing year. So for them not to trade him, and the way RJ's been playing, well, you could definitely have him as a piece of like a cornerstone piece. And if they waited because Zion can sign with New Orleans and do a sign and trade, and that's why I think Julius Randle wasn't traded this half season.
I can see that.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Zion ends up in New York by the time next season happens. And it's not even a complete loss for the Pelicans either, because Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, and Julius Randle being a third piece, that's a solid team depending on what you do with the rest of your team. They have two scores. They have two really good scorers who can score in all facets. You have Julius Randle, who can play some. Well, he can distribute. He's a good passing big guy. He could get rebounds. But he's a good player. Like, it's not like he's not trash. He's a good player, but he's just not a number one player. He's not a number one player.
Or two.
Exactly. So he could be a 3. Well, he could be a 2. I think he could be a number 2 guy.
On a winning team?
What's your definition of winning team?
Competing for championships?
Then probably not. But, I mean, on a playoff team, he could be a number. But that's besides the case. But New Orleans wouldn't lose out on that deal at all, depending on who you put around those 3 guys, if that ends up happening. But I think Zion Williamson will be in New York. Now, granted, the way he's going about it, I didn't really like that much.
I was going to ask you, if you were a Pelicans teammate of Zion, how do you feel right now?
No, I feel pissed. I'm pissed off. I would feel some type of way because
they're also bottom tier Western Conference.
Yeah, I would feel some type of way. Brandon Ingram might not, but I don't know. I would just really feel a certain type of way because it's like you're not showing us the respect of, even if you are hurt, it doesn't even look like you're trying to get back. And the Pelicans kind of have to feel a way as an organization. He's making it easier for them to trade him.
I saw an update that he doesn't trust
David Griffin.
I
don't know what that means.
The owner or executive, whatever.
Doesn't trust David Griffin to do what? Exactly.
Build around him, maybe? I don't know.
The same guy that won the championship with Cleveland?
Yeah.
That LeBron actually likes?
I don't know.
I don't know I don't know about that.
I feel we should just move on from Zion because we probably won't see him anytime soon.
The first and last time until next year.
Yeah. Anyway, so the NBA second half, post All-Star break has started. We know the standings as of right now, but what teams do you think will have a second half drought, or if they'll take a leap in the second half?
I think Utah's going to go on a great run just because you had 12 games without Mitchell, and all of them were like towards the second half. Well, the late first half, they were all like in a row, basically. Gobert was out for 14 games. And so I think they're poised to go on a run that I think they'll get back the 3rd seed from Memphis. Just my opinion. I think they'll get back the 3rd seed. They're 4th right now, but in terms of like their record, now they're all healthy in there. I think they're the team most poised for a big run because they had their downfall already. Technically, they had their bad stretch. So now Utah always goes on a run at some point in the season.
Always.
And it hasn't been the first half. So I think that's the team, the second half, that's going to really take off.
And your drought?
This was tough. This was tough because I was so adamant on saying Memphis. I thought Memphis was gonna fall off a little, not like really bad, but I think they're going to fall off just because they saw so much success early. But honestly, I think it's gonna be Denver.
They're gonna drop more, Denver?
I think they're gonna fall off in terms of like winning and like playing great. I think they're gonna fall off because like Jokic did a great job in the first half, and now you have the whole second half, and now I think because Bones Highland's playing for them right now, they have a bunch of nobodies really, And I think that they're going to go on a drought because I think mostly because of Jokic, I think they exceeded expectations in the first half in terms of record. And I think the second half, they're going to come down to reality. Not saying they'll fall off the playoffs, but I think they'll be in the play-in.
Even if Jamal Murray comes back in March?
I don't think he's coming back in March.
So you think he'll be back ready for April playoffs?
I think they're going to, in terms of, I think he won't play a game until April.
Okay.
Because March, they might try to just have him play 5. What I would do, I would have him just play 5-on-5s this whole March or whenever he's cleared to actually play. I wouldn't play him until I've seen at least a month of scrimmaging and see how his body reacts after each scrimmage, or not even his body, just his knee. And I would want to see, then I'd throw him in April when there's about 5 games left. Give him a 5-game trial, and then we'll see what happens from there.
For me, the team that I think is going to take a big leap in the second half, I'm going to go with the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
And we saw it last year, and I think we'll see a repeat of what happened last year with the Hawks when they signed McMillan. I think Trae Young is too good of a player to be in, not a play-in, but in the 10 seed they are right now, I believe.
Yeah, 10 seed.
And I also like the team they have around him. I think John Collins is underrated. He has his moments where he is a go-to option. I love their shooters, Herter, Bogdanovich, and what's his name is back that I can't remember because I'm having a brain fart. But Hunter.
Oh, DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah,
DeAndre Hunter.
Really good basketball player. Came out of Virginia, I believe. They missed him last year in the playoffs. Yeah. He could have helped them out a lot in the playoffs. And they're a team that when they're hot, they're hot. If they're not, they're not.
It's weird because it's one of those things they get hot as a team.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like two players. When they see when everybody hits when they're on, everybody on the team scores.
So that's what I'm gonna say. That happens for them this second half of the season. I have 2 for the drought. 2 drought teams. One, maybe a little obvious, maybe not. I'm going to say Phoenix drops to the 2nd or 3rd seed without Chris Paul. Probably the 2nd seed because Chris Paul is so valuable to that team's success. And they're not going to have him for 6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks, yeah.
So that's a lot of time.
Around 18 games.
And we're going to have to see. We'll see what Devin Booker's made of during that time. But for now, I do think they have a solid enough team to stay at 3 or 2 because they have such a leap over the 3rd seed right now. But
yeah,
I think Golden State will catch them when they start to lose a little bit. And my second team that I could see having a bit of a drought is over on the Eastern Conference again. And it is the Chicago Bulls.
I was gonna say Chicago, but I don't think they will. Because it's gonna be weird because Chicago, the East is so tight.
Mm-hmm. Pause.
That it's that's not even pause.
Just keep going.
The East is so tight because it's if you lose 2 games, you're gonna be in 6th place.
Mm-hmm.
So does that consider a drought?
No, I'm thinking they'll actually go.
Because think about it, what's a drought? Because if they go out of 10 games, they go 3-7, they're in the play-in.
I could see that happening. The reason I could see that happening is because DeMar's been playing so out of this world lately with the 38 point every night.
Yep.
I just don't see that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's just going nuts this whole season. But if they don't get that consistent 35 from DeMar, he drops down to a normal 23, 25, and that team still struggles with injury. I could see them they won't fall out of the playoffs, obviously, but I could see them falling down to 5, 6. Not saying it will happen, but I could see that happening.
So now what about Cleveland?
Cleveland, I think Cleveland just stays the same. I think they do what they've been doing.
Because now Boston's starting to catch up a little bit. Toronto's 2 games behind Cleveland.
Yeah, Toronto just got their ass kicked by Charlotte.
Yeah, but that's okay. But I'm just saying, like, logistically, they're 2 games behind Cleveland. Can Cleveland go on a little drought? I seen Levert was hurt, Garland was hurt.
Depends on what their health situation is.
So I don't know. Because Chicago, man, I don't think they're gonna fall off. And then I don't think Phoenix is gonna fall off either, because Golden State's hurt too. Draymond's hurt too.
Yeah, but Golden State still has their 2 guys.
They have Steph and Clay, yeah, but there's a huge discrepancy when Draymond's not there. Like, you can tell.
No, I agree.
You can tell. So they're 43-17 right now. Draymond's still gonna be out for a month. Will they? They'll definitely be. So in a month, you play about how many games?
I'm just assuming after that performance in the All-Star game, Steph is gonna go on a rampage.
I mean, yeah, they had a good game. I mean, he had a good game last night. We had 18 and 14 assists, but Phoenix, I don't think they lose more than 5 games in this stretch.
The stretch that Paul's out?
Yeah,
8 weeks?
I don't think they lose more than 5 games.
I didn't look at their schedule, but we could
run it right now.
Yeah, we could look it up right now. I just don't think Booker has what it takes. I've never been high on Devin Booker.
I think he was.
I know they have a great team though. That's a great coach.
They have a great team.
So
they
that
have
might
a
keep them
good team,
afloat.
and it's
What's their schedule looking like here?
Hold on. They have
Awkward silence.
They have New Orleans tonight. They got Utah on Sunday, Portland, New York, Milwaukee, Orlando, Miami, Toronto, LA, New Orleans, Houston, Chicago, Sacramento, Minnesota. Basically, a couple good teams, but the majority of it is like 500 and below.
So they might catch a break there. They may catch a break there, I should say.
So I think they play Sacramento 2 times, and they play Utah. I mean, not Utah. They play New Orleans 2 times. I don't think they're going to lose more than 5 in this stretch. And can they sneak one? Can they sneak one from a – can they beat Utah? Right now, I think they can. Can they beat Miami? I think they can.
Line score update. They're home against New Orleans and they're down by 11 in the third quarter. I know they're the best fourth quarter team in the league, but we will see what they do by the end of the night.
See, because, I mean, this part of the schedule for them is going to be tough. The end of March, early April. The end of March, early April is a tough road. Because you got Denver, Philly, Golden State, Memphis.
Gee, yeah,
that's a tough road. So I think all they got to do, honestly, is they don't have to have too much of a winning record. I think they could go, what is it? What are they, 49-10?
Mm-hmm.
They got to go at least, so 49-10, that's 59. So that's 23 games. They got to go, all they really got to do is go maybe 13-10.
I just don't think they will.
They just gotta stay afloat, because if they go 13-10, that's still 60 wins. And they'll probably still get the first seed, so I don't think they're gonna fall off in terms of standings.
All right, we will see. So now we are gonna move on.
We're gonna switch up the tempo.
And we are gonna switch up the tempo. I put up a poll on my Instagram story the other day asking if our audience would like to see us talk about other sports than just basketball. So we're throwing in a little football today. And one of the biggest stories in the NFL right now is just, yet again, Aaron Rodgers. What is he up to? Where's he going to go? Does he stay in Green Bay? Does he leave and choose to bring Davante Adams with him? Does Davante get the franchise tag in Green Bay? Who the hell knows? So as of right now, I think Green Bay has around a week to tag Davante Adams.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't, he hits free agency. And at that point,
he's gone.
I believe he'll be gone because he wants top-tier wide receiver money to be the number one paid.
As he should be.
The other thing I've been reading is Aaron Rodgers wants to be the highest paid quarterback. and knowing Green Bay, they don't really reach for, they don't really give out contracts, that easily.
They
And
better.
you saw it during the season. They didn't even want to sign Odell. They wanted to sign him to a vet minimum. Could have got.
But didn't he take a minimum to go to the Rams?
Yeah, but with the incentives, he made over
Oh, okay.
a lot more money.
He didn't make a lot because Bitcoin crashed.
Yeah, he made about like $3 million or something like that.
I mean, it's still a lot, but it wasn't what he was supposed to get.
So I'll ask you, what do you think's going on with Rodgers and Green Bay? And do you think there's a possible destination?
My take will probably surprise you. I honestly think Aaron Rodgers is going to retire, but probably come back next year or whatever year after. I think Devontae will get tagged and he will sit out until they trade him or leave, or till the next season.
I can see that happening. So the next season, where do you think Devontae would end up going? I know there's a lot of options there, but
I think he could possibly end up in Buffalo.
Buffalo, that's interesting. Imagine Josh Allen got it. Devontae ends.
Because I'm just trying to find guys that are similar to Aaron Rodgers in a sense. Until Josh Allen has an arm and could take off. I think he wants something similar. He's used to playing in the cold, so I don't think the weather's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I definitely could see Devontae in Buffalo, and I think he would want to go to Buffalo. But until then, if he gets tagged, I don't think you'll see him next year. If Aaron Rodgers isn't there. If Aaron Rodgers is there and he gets tagged, then he's definitely going to be out there.
Yeah.
But I think Devontae will get tagged. Aaron Rodgers will retire. But if he doesn't retire, I could see him trying to get back to California. You see him got the long hair look. Got the long hair look. He's newly single. He's newly single.
I don't know if he is or not. It's like all over the place with that shit.
Well, if he's newly single, why not go to Cali?
That's very true. Very true. So for me, I all this Rodgers stuff is just crazy to me. So what I think will happen with Rodgers, he's either – this is my take on it, all right?
Yeah.
There is no better opportunity for Rodgers than what he has in Green Bay. The destinations I've heard is Denver, which if you want to go to Denver, they have a great team, great defense, great wide receiving core, but they don't but they have to play Mahomes 2 times a year.
Yeah.
They have to play Herbert 2 times a year.
They could beat Herbert.
But I'm saying that I don't think you'd want to go to a division where 2 of the top 7 quarterbacks in the league are playing it. I don't see the reason why you would want to do that. And also, now with the NFC, I just think the NFC is an easier path to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, I mean, AFC has Kansas City, Buffalo. I guess if you want to mention the Patriots, don't forget about the Bengals, who were just in the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir. Joey B.
Just a bunch of hard teams to compete with. You can throw the Chargers in there. You can throw the Raiders in there.
Joe I know who's cool.
But so I think he either stays in Green Bay or he retires as well.
Yeah, I mean,
I think he stays in Green Bay or retires as well.
I can't see him wanting to stay in Green Bay. I can't because I know he knows they're not going to win.
But I just don't think there's a better situation for him.
I do. San Francisco.
San Fran would have to get I think they drafted that quarterback Lance for a reason.
I don't care what they drafted him for.
And also with San Francisco, they're trading Garoppolo soon, apparently. That's what I've been.
I do not care. Let me say this. All right. I know you draft quarterbacks. You draft young quarterbacks. You want them to play around year 3, year 2. If you have a chance to get Aaron Rodgers, and I hate saying this because Ilya's going to kill me for this, but if you have a chance to get an all-time great quarterback, all-time great, maybe the top 5 ever, you take that chance. I don't care if he's a backup for 10 years. If you have a chance to get Aaron Rodgers, because obviously they're in win now mode because they go far when everybody's healthy. Mm-hmm. Why not? Why not go for Aaron Rodgers? They should go for Aaron Rodgers. And I think that would be perfect. That would be a perfect marriage because you have Debo, you have an Ayuk who came on strong the last half of the year. You have running game and your defense is great. Why not?
It's a perfect.
And he's from California, right?
Mm-hmm, he is.
Why not?
So that would be a perfect team, but I just don't know if San Fran's going to go out and get him.
They should. What are you going to do, Jimmy G?
The only reason I would say San Fran could go out and get him is they could get Rodgers for a year or two and then start the Lance.
I don't care. I do not care about. I'm a San Francisco fan. I don't care about Trey Lance if you can get Aaron Rodgers.
I'm saying
he could sit on the bench and rot.
They can get Rodgers for a year or two before he retires, and then Lance will be up next.
Well, yeah, okay. And then, because trust me, Trey Lance is not ready. He played behind Jimmy G. There's not much he learned.
Mm-hmm. But with Devontae Adams.
But Devontae, I think, will get tagged because you definitely don't want to lose both of them.
Right.
So, like, I think he'll get tagged, and I think there'll be a little drama with him. I think he'll sit out because he's a wide receiver. Jordan Love's not great, as we've seen, from what we've seen so far.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he can't be, but from what we've seen so far, Devontae doesn't want to mess up his numbers because that gives the team more ammunition to say, well, I don't think you're worth this. It looks like your success was based off Aaron.
Well, I think if Rodgers is gone, Devontae's gone. I think if Rodgers stays.
But if he gets tagged,
Devontae's
it doesn't matter, right?
Well, yeah, no. If they they're only going to apply the tag, I think, if Rodgers is staying.
I think he's going to get tagged regardless because he's the best receiver in the game, and you don't want to lose both of them.
But if they were to lose Devontae, I would say a few possible destinations for him. One, I feel like Vegas, just because he played with Derek Carr in college, and Vegas did make the playoffs. I don't think they're great, but they kind of have some chemistry from back when they played together. Too, I could see him going to the Chargers if they lose Mike Williams, their number 2 wide receiver. And I don't really know any other place as of right now. I think they're both in a weird situation in their careers. I know they want to play together, wherever it is. But I just don't know what's going to happen. And also, Aaron Rodgers' Instagram post confused the hell out of everybody the other day.
He confuses people, period.
He's a weird dude. He posted this whole thing about gratitude. He thanked everyone he's played with, work with now, play with now. His ex-wife or his wife, I'm not even sure at this moment.
I think that's a pretty good sign to say he's not coming back.
I just can't tell. I'm not sure.
I mean, if you thanked everybody, I think he's gone. He has to be gone. You wouldn't just thank him for no reason. Unless he's just weird like that. Actually, it looks like he's on his little peace tour. He grew his hair out. He grew his hair out. He's showing feet at press conferences.
Yeah, I
think he's different. He's like Kyrie, walking around with Sage. That's
for
next.
real. He kind of is. Like
That's next. And both don't take vaccines.
So we will see probably very soon what is going down in Green Bay. Moving on, we spoke about the AFC, how I didn't think it's a good idea for Rodgers to go into that conference because there's way too many teams.
Mm-hmm.
So many great quarterbacks in that league, so many great teams. The top teams from the AFC the past year, Bengals, Chiefs, Bills. Bengals obviously won the AFC this past year and made it to the Super Bowl. But who would be your team? I know the draft hasn't happened. The free agency hasn't happened. But what would be your team in the AFC? Who would be the team to beat in the AFC next year, in your opinion?
Who? Well, I say Baltimore.
I just have to disagree, but you could back it up.
I say Baltimore because Ravens were 8-4 before Lamar went out. Then they lost the last 5 games when he was out. Marcus Peters gets hurt in the beginning of the year. The running backs get hurt in the beginning of the year. Pretty much they were playing from behind the whole year, and we're still 8-4 until the main guy got hurt. And when they're healthy, they're always in the top 2 or 3. When they're always healthy, they're in the top 2, and people always want to talk about Lamar's throwing ability. It's problematic, yes, but I think that injury helped him a lot. Because now I think he's going to work on his game, and I think you're going to see a totally different Lamar Jackson next year.
I just don't ever see Lamar Jackson winning.
Because I just think about it like this: if he's not a great thrower, or if people bash him for that, and they're still always number one, all he has to have is a good year to win.
Yeah, it's true, but like, when is that gonna happen?
It can happen at any time. That's what I'm saying. They're like a weird team where, like, if he throws 67 or 66 and throws maybe, well, he's never going to be a quarterback that throws 50 touchdowns, but if he gets 35 to 40, I'm just saying, like, for 1 year, if he could get 35 to 40 with maybe 15 picks, they would win it.
Here's my thing. I can't rely on Lamar Jackson for two reasons. One, he's not proven to be able to throw the basketball. We always talk about that. To throw the football. It's very inconsistent. He has his times where he puts the ball on his man, and he has the times where it's like, what the hell was that? His running ability is the best I've ever seen. But you need to be able to throw the ball to win NFL football games and championships.
But isn't that he's still only in his fourth year?
Mm-hmm.
So doesn't he have room to get better?
Of course he does. But I could also tell you another team that has a guy who was drafted, I believe, the same year.
Who, Allen?
Josh Allen.
But he was already a better passer already than Lamar. Lamar's kind of like
out of college. I don't know.
Lamar, if I could give a great, is weird. Lamar, for his first 4 years, is like a Westbrook. It's all athleticism as of right now, and a little bit of skill.
But that's a problem at quarterback.
But here's what I'm saying. That, like, I think he has the ability, because it's not basketball, obviously, where shots depend. But I think if he really wanted to get better at throwing the football, I think he can. I don't think it's, like, so far out of the range for him. And I'm not saying he has to throw like Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying, if he could have a good year, not a great year, I think they have a chance to win. Or if if he has a good playoffs, they can win it.
My teams would be next season in the AFC would have to be Buffalo Bills. Their season ended terribly this year with 13 seconds left on the clock when Mahomes came back down the field and just like broke everyone's heart in Buffalo. But Josh Allen, I really did not think he was going to be a good quarterback out of college when he got drafted. I was obviously wrong. See, this is a guy who could run, but he can also throw the ball 80 yards down the field. He's worked on his accuracy. It's getting much better. He's so tough to take down. You can't bring this man down. He's so strong. He does have a little bit of a fumbling problem, but, I mean, like you said, people work on things. And it's also because they run him a lot. But they also had the number one defense in the league, I believe. No, the Patriots did. But they had the top 3 defense in the league. And to be honest, if they win that game against Kansas City, I think they win the Super Bowl. They haven't had much of a running game. They've had Singletary and Moss behind them. I don't think it's great. They finally got their receiver with Diggs a couple years ago. He's been nothing but great for them. And this team just keeps getting better and better and better. Gabriel Davis had, 4 touchdowns in that game against Kansas City.
It was really good.
That offense is unstoppable. Mm-hmm. They had some stretches during the season where it was like, what's going on with them? But they bounced back. I don't believe in Cincinnati to do the same thing they did this year.
Neither do I.
I don't believe in Pat Mahomes as of right now because
I do.
It's so much inconsistency.
I do.
Come out in the second half of that championship game and have, I forget what the rating was. His QBR was awful.
But if you look at Kansas City, they kind of have a tendency to always blow leads or start off down.
Yeah. That's why I don't trust them. I think
but it just looked good because they found ways to win. And now that they didn't, it looks bad. But I'm not overreacting to that at all.
But my team to beat next year would be Buffalo.
See, I also go Baltimore because it's like, what would their record be if Peters and – because we're just talking about a team, not just the quarterback. The quarterback's very important, but you saw Jimmy G get carried. Why can't Baltimore? Who I think Baltimore is more talent-wise. Well, no, they're not. But they're just as good defensively when everybody's there.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't they carry him?
Because
it's not like Jimmy. So basically, you would trust Jimmy G over Lamar Jackson in a playoff game.
If you want my real answer, yeah.
Wow.
You know why? Jimmy G has won in the playoffs.
And how much of that was because of him?
Listen, he just found a way to win. Lamar just hasn't won.
Lamar can't, and he's an MVP?
Lamar hasn't won the playoffs. Jimmy G has found a way to get to the Super Bowl.
But it's not he found a way. Everybody else around him
But he's the quarterback of the team.
They won despite of him. They won in spite of him.
To be honest, I don't trust either of them.
But I'm saying I can't trust Jimmy G over because they throw the same.
But if that's my team to beat in the AFC and we're comparing him to Jimmy G, I just don't think it's gonna happen.
No, but don't twist it like that. Don't twist it. I'm just saying because I remember you saying he finds ways to win. I think he does. I think he could find a way to win more so than Jimmy G, given the right. Because this year, I think he probably would have made it further.
I wouldn't know what their matchup would be. I
think he would have made it further.
I don't think they beat Buffalo, Kansas City, or Cincinnati, of course.
I think they could beat Cincinnati.
I mean, they were in the Super Bowl, so I can't really
I think they could beat Cincinnati. I think they can beat Cincinnati. Because Mahomes' defense was horrible, too. It's not just the offense that blows a lead. The defense blows a lead, too. So if Lamar were to ever get up a healthy defense, if their defense is healthy, can prevent that comeback.
We will see.
Because you saw how bad their defense was.
Baltimore's?
No, Kansas City.
Kansas City started off awful. It started to turn up a little bit in the second half of the year and then was like, okay.
That's what I'm saying. His defense is significantly better. So if Lamar were to get up maybe 17-0, I would like my chances.
Also, I don't think that they're treating Lamar right with the wide receivers. I know they got
exactly, and how much
drafted.
That's what I'm saying. So how much is his success? Yeah, I mean, it's not like if he's had a guy like this is why I don't rule him out completely. If he's had a guy like Devontae Adams or Jamar Chase or Stephon Diggs and he's played this bad, then yeah. But since he's never had a real star receiver. And he could still get his team to 8-4 or whatever. They're always at the top. And
he does have a star tight end in Mark Andrews.
Oh yeah, he's great. Mark Andrews is great, but usually they have at least they have a good receiver or like a wide receiver.
Yeah. Like that one is Marquise Brown, and I'm not very high.
Every good quarterback basically has a good receiving core, except for him. Like Denver has a better receiving core than Baltimore.
Yeah, for sure.
And that should be a shame. That's a shame on their organization. Because it's not like you can throw Lamar to the fire all you want. He's never had help.
Wide receiver-wise,
he's never had help. And it's not really – Mark Andrews isn't going to catch a 45-yard pass like just beating somebody. Right. He'll catch it and go 45 yards. But it's not like he's beating somebody 45 yards straight. You kind of need that threat. Well,
they have Marquise Brown to take the top off the defense, but he's not a Lamar.
If Devontae really want to get his numbers, he should go to Baltimore.
I'm not saying I could see it, but that would be a very interesting duo.
Now, if you give me Lamar with Devontae and he's still the same, then I can shut the hell up.
Yeah.
But we've never seen him with a great wide receiver, so everybody wants to throw him to the fire. But it's like when you're down, who are you going to throw to? You can't throw to Mark Andrews 35 times.
Right, and Marquise Brown has a dropping problem.
So, I mean, exactly. So it's kind of like you can't blame his – because sometimes Lamar does look bad, like really bad. But how many times is it just he doesn't have the right receiving core around him?
It's like 50-50.
So if he gets one more person, do they go from 8-4 when he – or like – 12-5 or 13-3 when he's 13-4 because it's 17 now. 13-4 without a good receiver. And I think that's why they don't have playoff success, because when it comes down to it, we're locking Andrews the hell up. Throw to Hollywood Brown.
Exactly.
Throw to a Des Bryant.
Yeah, true.
So if you get that one other guy and he still plays like that, I will shut up. But I don't think it's so over. I don't think it's over. I think he can win, but they just got to get one receiver.
Do you think the Ravens should take the risk to sign Antonio Brown?
Yes. You need to try something.
Yeah.
You need to try something because him and Mark Andrews obviously don't get it done when it matters. So you give him one other good person and just see what it does for him. See what it does for him.
So our final topic of episode 3, even though we just talked about quarterbacks, now we're going to talk about who is the best quarterback in the NFL. I just ranted about Josh Allen, and I'm still going to agree that, don't hate me on this one, everybody. I think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL as of right now.
I don't think so.
I think it changes a lot. I've been getting
be
so many phone calls. Let me put this away. I think Josh Allen, towards the upcoming season, will be
the
MVP and the best quarterback in the NFL for 2 reasons. One, he has progressively just gotten better and better and better every season. And 2, I think Buffalo is now ready to take the next step. I think they're like a phoenix of the NFL.
No.
I think they're pissed off about what happened last year or this past season. And I think they're going to do some – if they stay healthy, of course, I think they're probably going to win it all next year. Josh Allen.
They won't. But
the obvious answer would be Aaron Rodgers, by the way. Hopefully you don't have Aaron Rodgers, but
I don't.
Okay, the obvious answer would be Aaron Rodgers, but we don't even know if he's going to play next year, and I didn't want to get too obvious,
For me, it's funny because I'm still going with Mahomes. I'm still going with Patrick Mahomes because in his down year, he almost threw for 5,000 yards. In his down year, he was only 2% worse than Aaron Rodgers. I will still take Patrick Mahomes. You want to talk about somebody being pissed off? Watch Kansas City come out the gate next year.
I'd love to see it. I mean,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Atrocious at times during the season.
They just got to. There's draft. They don't need to draft nobody on offense. This draft, I don't want to see not one offensive player drafted. Should be straight defense. But I just want people to think about this. In his down year, 2% worse than Aaron Rodgers. 2%, 66 to 68, 2% worse, and more passing yards.
Or how many interceptions?
13, but nobody's gonna ever throw less interception than Aaron Rodgers.
That's true.
So that makes it even worse. You have 9 more interceptions, and you're still only 2% worse.
I just think Josh Allen.
So now, what would have happened if he cut 13 to about 8? Like he usually
I think the way he plays, I don't think he's going to because he's a gunslinger at times.
Yeah.
He chucks it up a lot.
But now
it was a little weird to see them struggle during the season because we haven't ever seen that before.
And I think every quarterback has a year where it's like, that wasn't your best year. Because, I mean, you can't have 3 amazing years. So any other year that's not 50 touchdowns and 7 picks looks bad.
What was his completion percentage?
66.3. And Aaron Rodgers, who's the MVP, was 68.
With 37 touchdowns, 4 picks, though.
37 touchdowns, 4 picks. But that's what I'm saying. For your percentage to be only 2% less, and you still for his interception to have 9 more interceptions, and to have your field goal percentage be 2 points less, I'll take that. Because if you cut 13 to even 10, you get 69%. I'll take it.
Why I go with Josh Allen is obviously everyone knows he has an arm and a half. His accuracy has been getting much better, but his rushing,
he's a beast.
You can't bring him down. He had 6 rushing touchdowns last year, I wouldn't be surprised if he could get up to like the 9 area because they run him a lot. He had 36 passing touchdowns. He had 15 interceptions. The way that offense works, when he's throwing it down the field, those interceptions are going to come. But if you look at his rush yards, almost 1,000 rush yards. He had 763 rushing yards in 1 year. If he continues to get better as a passer, I could see him being the best quarterback in the NFL. As much as it pains me to say it, because I really don't even like Josh Allen.
I don't think I don't think it will. I don't think he's. There's about 3 guys I'd probably take over him right now.
Rodgers, Mahomes,
and I might be. This might be a whole reach, but I think Justin Herbert next year is going to be a monster.
I love Justin Herbert.
Don't be surprised if he wins MVP next year.
I could see that too, but the Chargers always find a way to screw up.
Yeah, but don't be surprised if everybody doesn't get hurt. Don't be surprised if – shout out to Allen's bum ass too. He's a Chargers fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no, I don't want the Chargers to win no more. No, but seriously though, I think he can win MVP next year because his numbers are always going to be there, barring injury.
The way the Bills just finished their season, I thought it was just a hint at what's to come.
I mean, I think it's not like they had a great regular season.
Yeah, they had a tough regular season. In the middle of their regular season, they started struggling a little bit, but then they were like, all right.
But then you still lose to one of the worst defenses of this year in Mahomes.
I mean, they did their part. 13 seconds left on the clock. What are you going to do?
No, like the worst defense in the league. Well, one of the worst defenses in the league is Patrick Mahomes' team. And I think if you're at least a good enough quarterback, you'd have a chance.
I mean, they put up 40.
No, that's what I'm saying. So, like, I hope he put up 40 against that defense. It just sucks that Mahomes was just that much better. But, like...
And he didn't get the ball in overtime.
Well, that rule's been in play. I don't care about that because that rule's been there since forever. So I don't really.
I'm just saying that's probably why they lost.
Well,
you know damn well if they got the ball, they were going to score too.
Probably, but that's the if. I don't know about ifs. But what I know is he's top 3.
The one thing I will say that might hurt my argument a little bit here is I'm a Giants fan, of course.
Sorry.
We just got their offensive coordinator, so
Dimes.
We just got their offensive coordinator, so we might see Josh Allen struggle a bit without his guy because this guy kind of was with Josh Allen the whole time.
I think he'll be just fine.
We'll see.
I think he'll be all right.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's episode 3 now. Again, I can't say it enough. Shout out to everyone who's been watching. Shout out to all the viewers.
Really appreciate it.
We're up on YouTube. Like and subscribe, please. And we'll have more content out for y'all very soon. And I just want to take 1 second to say shout out to my good friend Dante Mortarella. Dante was I keep getting so many phone calls. A cancer patient for a little while now, but today he rang the bell after a long battle. I just want to say you are an inspiration to everyone. You are so strong, and just wish you nothing but the best in your future. All right?
I couldn't have said it better, man. I'm happy for you. And I'm just very happy that you came through. And it's great to see, man. I'm just happy you're all right and you're doing fine. But congratulations, bro.
All right, y'all. We will see you guys next time. Peace out.